Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's IELTS class, live streaming to you from Central Europe, Hungary, beautiful Budapest, the capital city of. My name is Adrian, and before we get going here, I just want to make sure that everybody can hear me and see me okay. So I see there's already quite a few students joined in. So Hongyan, Manisha, Chahal, Satya, can you hear me okay? Can you see me okay? Thank you for that, Chahal. Awesome. Okay, so today we're going to do a little bit of grammar learning. The materials, as usual, it's coming out of our websites, aehelp.com for academic IELTS, gieltshelp.com for general IELTS. Please visit us there. You can find our books on Amazon, AEHelp's Academic IELTS. I want to thank our sponsors again for supporting us. I know we have a few more new sponsors, so thank you to the sponsors. You're awesome. If you're interested in sponsoring, it's the little button on the YouTube channel beside the subscribe. Our sponsors get our exams and some other perks for free, so there's definitely some advantages to being a sponsor. We'll have a couple special sponsors lessons this week as well. I'm doing very well. Thank you, Ramesh, for asking. All right, so girls and guys, a little bit of grammar learning for IELTS. Of course, grammar is important for IELTS. I decided to throw in an extra class today for that. For high scores, for band 6.5, 7, or 8, you have to, of course, know some upper level English grammar. So for band scores over 6.5 or over 6, you need to have upper level English grammar. Okay, so what do I mean by that? What would be considered upper level English grammar? Can anybody take a guess at what would be considered upper level English grammar? So let's just create a list here real quick, and then I'll pick one to talk about in more detail. So I need to show, excuse me, you need to show that range of grammar, absolutely. But what do we mean by range? So what is your range of grammar? What kind of grammar do you need to know? So complex sentences for sure. That means using conjunctions. Okay, what else do you need? Sure. Lexical resources, Manisha, is just a very general term for upper level grammar. Yeah, Pachu, there you go. So you need to know present perfect. Sure. What else? Yeah, it's there's another one of our sponsors jumping in with a good answer. Naitik, absolutely. You should be able to command passive voice. Okay, what else? Anything else? So it's a good start. Of course, if you said present perfect, you probably want to include past perfect as well. Subject-verb agreement, that's a given. That's not considered upper-level grammar. Srikanth. Modal verbs, absolutely. Sure, that's still not actually considered upper-level grammar. Modals is just intermediate. That's right, NR. What you're talking about is direct and indirect speech. Okay, for those of you that don't know, that's when he said that she would meet us here at 8 o'clock. He said she will meet us here at 8 o'clock. Conditionals, definitely. You want to know that's not upper level, by the way, either. It's considered just intermediate. Okay. Conditionals. Another one that you want to be able to control, of course, is adjective clauses. All right. So this is a short list. I'm sure there's a couple more that aren't on my list here, but this is definitely a good start. Now, girls and guys, again, if you want to get a band 6, 6.5, 7, or higher, you really need to know at least these kinds of grammar to a fair degree. You need to be able to understand them. You need to be able to use them. So you need to know complex sentences using conjunctions. You need present perfect, past perfect, passive and active voice, modals, direct, indirect speech, conditionals, adjective clauses. If you don't know some of these, you really need to sit down, look at some grammar books, and practice, okay? Make sure, again, that you're doing effective practice using the techniques I showed in yesterday's class for vocabulary learning, okay? Use the vocabulary learning in combination with this. All right, so let's talk a little bit more about the grammar. So here, you got to remember that grammar evolved with human language. So you have to remember that grammar evolved with human language and culture, and it serves our way of life, okay? So it's not a chicken or the egg question, because here the egg definitely came first, which is human culture, and then the chicken followed, which is the grammar that's able to express that culture. And to break it down to you very simply, first humans, or the very early language, was basically humans communicating needs. You'll see where I'm going with this in a minute. Okay? So these were kind of the first signs of constructed human language. So first time humans communicated something, they said, water, water, water. Meaning, I'm thirsty, I need water, give me water. Okay, it was very simple language, very simple sentences. Then humans got a little bit more creative a few thousand years ago and started to develop language that expresses emotions. Okay, so examples there, like, love, okay, and so on, hate, etc. Okay, so humans said, hey, we need new language here. They started to build more vocabulary. They started to get some pretty good sentence structures going. They started to evolve in their communication to express their emotions, their feelings. Then humans evolved even more. Okay, so humans then evolved to expressing a range of emotions, and they needed to be able to communicate to other people not just what they feel and what they think, but to what degree they think or they feel that way. So do they feel it a little bit? Do they feel it somewhat? Do they feel a little bit stronger? Do they feel it strongly? Or do they feel it very, very strongly? Do they feel really strongly about that? So you start to get language like dislike, hate, despise, okay? And then, of course, the grammar as well. Not only do I dislike apples, it's not true I like apples, but let's take this example. Not only do I dislike apples, but I hate the way they smell, okay? So here's an example for you. Not only do I dislike the taste of apples, but I hate the way they smell. Now, hopefully some of you students realize I'm using a correlative conjunction there. So modern language evolved to control what's called emphasis. It's very important to keep that in mind. It's a very important piece of information for IELTS, okay? So you're kind of on the right track there, Jeffrey, with Maslow's hierarchy of needs. As humans got higher and higher on those list of needs, they evolved language and communication for that. It's a little bit different topic, Jeffrey, but somewhat close. All right, so what you need to understand is that there's ways to control language, ways to control the emphasis of your language, and you have to choose the right words and the right grammar to match that, okay? For high scores on IELTS, you need to control emphasis. in your speaking and writing. Okay, it's very, very important to do that. Now, when you learn grammar or when you review your grammar, you need to think about 3 points, and it's critically thinking about grammar. Okay? So this is what you need to do, okay? When you're learning grammar, you need to think about what is the grammar, why am I using it, and how does it work, okay? That's what you need to do. Mit or sing, emphasis means the strength of what you say, okay? So what is the grammar, why am I using it, how does it work? Now, something that you'll find interesting is a lot of teachers will explain this one, what is it? A lot of teachers will explain how does it work, but a lot of teachers unfortunately forget to explain to students why are you using it. So if you want to make sure that your teacher is doing a good job, always ask your teacher to explain why you use a certain kind of grammar. Okay, so always ask your teacher about this. Why are we using this grammar? Why don't we use something else, okay, instead? So I'll give you a very basic example here. Okay, so what's the difference between these two sentences? I walk to work and I'm walking to work. Okay? What is the difference, girls and guys, between these two simple sentences? I walk to work and I am walking to work. Okay? Just give me a simple answer. You'll see where I'm going with this. Okay, so it's simple versus continuous, so that's what it is. Or sometimes some students hear that as progressive. Unfortunately, to make things more confusing, sometimes you have more than one way to call a grammar form. So I walk to work, I'm walking to work. One is simple, one is progressive. That answers the what question. Now answer the why question. And I think one of you did it well there. Vegan Jeffrey said one expresses a general event and the other is happening continuously. Okay, so the first one, I walk to work, is a general action. It means maybe every single day I walk to work. The second one, I'm walking to work, it's happening right now and it's happening continuously, right? I'm actually walking to work. Now, what you need to realize here, something interesting, is think about it visually. Okay, so this is something that a lot of students don't learn when they're learning simple present and they're learning continuous. So what they learn is that, okay, one's a general action, one's a continuous action, one's simple, the other's continuous, progressive. But why we're actually doing this is because when you say, I walk to work, so I walk to work, what that is for the listener is a simple image. It's like a picture, okay? It's like a picture from your camera. So it's a picture of a person with a briefcase and they're walking to work, okay? There's no motion. It's a still photo, all right? That's one of the frames of our visual mind, is just a still photo. The second one, I'm walking to work, that ing takes that picture and turns it into a video. So when a listener hears I'm walking to work, in their mind's eye, in their visual eye, they're actually picturing somebody with their briefcase walking to work. It's a moving picture versus a still photo, okay? So that is the big difference in expressing that grammar. Again, remember, humans are visual beings, so we sense our world mostly through our eyes, okay? Our eyes are our most important sense. We've evolved that way. So, so you have to keep that in mind, okay? So you keep that in mind that that's why. And then how does it work? That's the simple grammar form question. So how? Okay, the first one is subject, verb, object. The second one, of course, is subject plus verb plus ing plus object. Okay, so that's the how. That's the nature of these two different ones. So simple present tense, subject plus verb plus object, versus the continuous form, which is subject plus verb ing plus object. Okay? I saw that, Mahdi. Awesome. I'm so happy that you got 7 on your exam. And I'm glad that we were able to help you with that. Again, for those students who are new here, definitely subscribe to our channel and definitely sign up on our websites, General IELTS Help for gieltshelp.com, and Academic IELTS is aehelp.com. Lots and lots of success stories for students who are watching our videos and using our websites, girls and guys, because we don't just teach you vocabulary and grammar and practice, 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 but we actually teach you how to think for IELTS and also how to think in Western culture in Western universities, okay? So congrats, Mahdi. I'm super proud that you did that, and I wish you the best of luck in your next steps. That's great. All right, so back to the grammar here. So hopefully I'm getting you to really pay attention to this what, why, and how, okay? So thinking about grammar in this critical form. So thinking about what is it, okay? But the most important question is why. Anytime your teacher teaches you some new grammar, ask why. So get as much detail as possible. Why are we learning this grammar? When should I use it? Why am I choosing to do this instead of something else? So now let's get into a more complex form, okay? Let's talk a little bit about present perfect. All right, so here I'm going to throw up an interesting example for you. Okay, I went to France versus I have been to France. All right. Now, a lot of students, especially ESL students that didn't grow up with English, will often choose, without paying attention, the simple present tense instead of the present perfect when they should be choosing present perfect, okay? Now, the question is why, of course. So what is it? The first one's simple present, and the second one is present perfect. Now, why? Here's the interesting question. Why? So why would I choose, or you could say when as well, why would I choose to say this in present perfect instead of simple present? Now, that's a good question to ask you. So why do you think? Why would a person choose this one and not this one? What's the difference? Present perfect links the past with the present. Yeah, but it's not necessarily meaning that I'm still in France. So these could both have been in the past. You're right, Indira. I might go to France again, but that's not necessarily true from this sentence. So what is it doing? What am I emphasizing? Yeah, that's right, Raya. That's very good. It's something to do with the emphasis. So what am I emphasizing? What am I emphasizing? That's right, Waltz. Very good. Experience. Absolutely. So I am emphasizing experience. It basically means, so when I say I have been to France, let me separate this out for you so it can be a little bit more clear. So it basically means that when I say I have been to France, that I experienced visiting France, and this memory is persistent until now, and probably will be in the future. For those of you that are very familiar with present perfect, you'll know what I mean. So when I use the present perfect, it doesn't mean I'm still in France. It's emphasizing experience. So it's emphasizing experience. I have been to France is basically the same as saying this nice long sentence. I experienced visiting France, and this memory is persistent until now and probably will be in the future. So I went there, I had a good time, I maybe saw some interesting places, the Louvre Museum, and because of my experiences there, this is a part of me, this is a part of my memory, and going into the future, this will stay with me. It's something that I'll share with my grandchildren, hopefully my great-grandchildren. Okay, so it's not that I'm still in France, but it's that the memory of France is still with me and will be in the future. The first sentence doesn't say that, okay? So the first sentence, I went to France, only says that I went there. It was a moment, a picture in my life, and maybe it's not so special, okay? Maybe there's not a lot going on. So here's an interesting grammar note for all of you. English speakers, or all speakers I should say, use present perfect for 5 reasons. Well, 10, but they're paired reasons. What are they? The first one, we just said experience or non-experience. Okay, for example, I haven't been to France means that I have a desire to go, desire to have that experience. Let's keep the same verb. Okay. So experience or non-experience. What's another one? Let's see if you can give me some other ones. There, Indira, result. You're on the right track with that one. A better way to think about it is achievement. Yep, absolutely. Okay. Let me give you an example here, and let's see if you can figure this one out. If I'm sitting in school, of course we can have questions with this grammar as well. So if I'm sitting in school and one of my fellow students asks me, Adrian, did you do your homework? And I say, yes, I did. Okay, that's simple present. Now the teacher asks me the same question, Adrian, have you done your homework? And I say, yes, I have. What's the difference? Why does the student ask me in simple present tense, Adrian, did you do your homework? And why does the teacher ask me in present perfect, Adrian, have you done your homework? What's the difference? Why would the teacher use present perfect in their question? What are they showing by this? Okay, and it's all connected to that time of present perfect. Something in the past going into the future. You're right, Indira. Absolutely. She wants to see it. So, in fact, she has what? There's one word that I'm looking for here. Okay, Khaled, that's what present perfect is. That's not why we use it. So here I'm showing you why you use it. It's not completion because maybe I haven't done it yet. Okay, there's another reason why we use it. The word starts with an E. EXP are the first 3 letters. It's not a formality. It's something else. Not expression. There. I've given you the first 4 letters, or yeah, 5 letters. Now you should be able to. There you go. Good job, Manisha. Good job, Raya. Expectation. Okay, so expectation or expectation incomplete. In English, if I want to emphasize, if I want to say strongly to someone that I expect them to do something, or I've been expecting them to do something, I'll use present perfect. So, have you washed your hands before eating? Right? So I'm using present perfect. Why? Because expectations start in the past, they keep continuing on, and they will continue into the future up until they're done, right? So expectation versus expectation incomplete. No, I haven't done my homework. That's why in English it's polite to answer somebody with present perfect if they ask in present perfect, because you're showing them a recognition for their expectation. Okay? That's a good example, Jeffrey. Absolutely. I assume you've already paid your bill, right? Yeah, it's an expectation. It's showing a lot of very strong expectation, Jeffrey, because you're adding a tag question to the end of it. But I'm not going to get too complicated right now. Tag questions are, of course, another form of grammar that you should know. So expectation is another one. Achievement is another one, or non-achievement. Okay. For example, got to do something a little patriotic here. Okay. Canada has won the World Cup Junior Hockey Championships more than any other country. All right. So this one's showing achievement, or if achievement hasn't been done. So here's a sad one. I haven't passed my IELTS. I haven't been able to get band 7. So that's showing non-achievement, that you haven't been able to achieve something, reach a goal, okay? Hopefully, you'll be telling me the opposite, like one of the students did today, where they said, I have achieved a score of 7, okay? So achievement versus non-achievement. And then there's two more. The other ones are change over time, or no change. And the fifth one is repetition over time, or no repetition. Can somebody give me an example of present perfect with change over time, where we're using change over time? Anybody give me an example of present perfect where it's used to emphasize or strongly express change over time? Very good, Vandana. Yeah, that was a good one for achievement. And I hope it's true that you cleared that exam. All right. Anybody can you give me an example for change over time? See how well you do. Yeah, exactly, Vandana. That's a good one. The Indian rupee has become stronger. You don't need the rest because that's included in the grammar, okay? I used to be very shy, but now this habit has changed. Yeah, I mean, of course, if you include the word change, that's even more, but you don't need it because the present perfect will often express it. I used to be very shy, but my habits have evolved, and I still know that you mean change, okay? So change doesn't have to be in the actual sentence. My English has improved. There's a very good, easy, simple one there from Julia. Versus, of course, my English is improved. Okay, so this first sentence is much stronger in expressing that change. My English has improved. Can somebody give me an example of repetition over time, using present perfect to express repetition over time? I have been studying for 2 months. Is still change over time, Raya? Or actually, in that case, it's even more about experience than change. Pachu, the population of our country, Nepal, has grown over the past 2 years. Is change over time, absolutely. Yeah, there's a good one by Khaled. I have drank 3 cups of tea. Glad you didn't say beer. I have drank 3 cups of tea. So this means likely there's a good chance that you will have another cup or not. So that might change, okay? So I have drunk is the past participle. So I have drunk 3 cups of tea, okay? I have drunk 3 cups of tea. There's a good chance you will have another cup of tea or maybe not, okay? So that is repetition over time. So again, remember this, that when you're using present perfect, you use it for 5 primary reasons. And you need to control this in your speaking and in your writing. Okay? So just a quick overview here. You'll use it for experience or non-experience. You'll use it for expectation or when an expectation is not complete. No, I haven't paid my bills, but I plan to soon before I get fined. Or you'll use it for achievement or non-achievement, which also, of course, is somewhat related to an expectation to achieve something in life. You'll use it for change over time, and you'll use it for repetition over time. So again, girls and guys, the key point here that I'm making for you is when you learn your grammar, you need to think about the what, the why, and the how. Okay, so what is the grammar? Why do we use this grammar? And how do we use this grammar? Now, what I recommend that you do is don't be shy. Go back to the basics. Start from scratch and just quickly go through each of these grammar forms before you start making some very complicated sentences. I see often students in IELTS, they're writing these sentences and saying these sentences that are very complex, and they're making mistakes in the very simple grammar structures. So it's a good idea to go back and review those grammar structures. Now, in our course, so if you go to our website, this is our academic website here. I'll darken the screen a bit so you can see it more clearly. So in our academic website, when you log in at the top there, okay, and you can use this in the free course as well as the paid version. So when you log in, it's not going to log in, or is it? Okay. So when you log into the course, hopefully I'll get in here in a second. If I type my password in right. When you log into the course, and again, you can try our course for free or you can get the paid version, but when you log into the course, you will be able to use the writing section. Okay? I just want to show you that, especially for those of you students who already have it. Because there's a lot of help for the grammar in this part of the course. So you get into your My Student page, and then in your My Student page, the second tab is a full online academic IELTS course. Of course, that tells you about all kinds of strategies and so on and so forth. And at the end here, you have a bonus writing and grammar lesson. Click on that link, open that one up. And then you get into that writing grammar that shows you step by step how to build your sentences in English, how to move from simple present tense to continuous, to present perfect, to complex, compound sentences. It's quite a robust course, so I'm not going to go through it in detail right now. I just took a part out of it teaching you the present perfect, of course. So here in the grammar course, this is what I wanted to show you. Basically, you go through each of these step by step, and eventually it'll take you into writing practice, like expository writing practice and so on. Let me just see if I can get back to the top here. Kind of working with a weird interface on my computer. Okay. Make sure you check that out. So again, I'll show you where that is, and you can use it on your phone or your tablet. So it's the writing course. It's the bonus writing course. Let me enlarge that for you here. So click on that one, and it'll go through step by step for each of these ones, okay? It'll go through all of those different grammar forms, what they are, why they are, and how you use it. All right, if you're studying General IELTS, please make sure you go to our General IELTS course, which is the green background there. I will be here again, girls and guys, tomorrow. We're going to get right into some IELTS listening practice. So we'll do some live listening, audio with answers and answer keys. We'll take it from our next test. This is all for today's lesson, just a nice kind of brief grammar lesson. Again, if you enjoy these classes, make sure to stay tuned, subscribe to our channel. Again, you can also sponsor us. I hope you got some valuable information there. Visit us on our website. If you're looking for some IELTS speaking interview practice, send me an email to adrian@aehelp.com. We can set that up. That is a paid service. And again, I will be here tomorrow at 16:30 Central European Time, Budapest time, or 14:30 GMAT time. That's Greenwich Mean Central Time. The focus will be listening. Thank you, girls and guys, for hanging out with me today. I wish you the best rest of your day. I hope all of you will achieve your IELTS band scores that you're looking for. Practice every day. Spend time on your vocabulary. Spend time on your grammar. It is worth it. And make sure to do lots of practice. Okay, girls and guys, much love for today. See you in tomorrow's class. Bye for now.